Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurul Aisyah binti Zaimi. My title for FYP1 is about bioflocculant in wastewater treatment by bioflocculant producing bacterium. Next, this is the front page and the table of contents. Okay, now we enter the introduction. Water is considered a valuable resource that is necessary for development a sustainable ecosystem and life based on carbon. The United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, such as Goal 6, Clean Water and Sanitation, and Goal 14, Life Below Water, are difficult to accomplish by the year 2030 because more than 80% of wastewater ends up into various water bodies everywhere without being properly treated. Flocculation is a pre-treatment technique in which flocculated chemicals, also known as flocculants, cause colloidal particles, which have been weakened by lowering or removing the repulsive force to clump together into large flocks. Microbial flocculants show great potential as agents for treating contaminated water due to their high biosafety levels, eco-friendliness, and effectiveness. For literature review, for the first point is about water pollution and bioflocculants. Large amount of heavy metals may eventually enter the human body to the high solubility of these elements, which causes them to absorb by living things and pull up in the food chains. Consuming more metals than is allowed can have negative health effects. According to the record data, there are many most dangerous metal present in pollutions. The second point is about how bioflocculants derive from marine bioflocculant producing bacteria. So this is a method of how bioflocculants are derived from the marine bacteria. Next is for the third point. The third point is about how bioflocculants derive from river bioflocculant producing bacteria. So this is the same as the second point, where this is the method of how bioflocculant is derived from the river bacteria. So for the fourth point, it's about potential applications. One potential application for bioflocculant is a process for treating wastewater, especially contaminants from breweries. Several strains of Bacillus thuringiensis have recently been investigated for their potential as biopesticides. For problem statement, firstly, this bioflocculant is still comparatively little research than synthetic flocculants, even though it has been drawing interest recently. This may be because of the production cost, performance variability, and the acceptance of new products in industries. Secondly, is many people are worried about the possible toxicity of flocculant, which uses chemicals to treat water and may be harmful to humans and the environment. Identifying gaps or setting the research questions. The productivity of bioflocculants can be increased by being knowledgeable about the factors that influence their productions. Next is, there is also a thought of why bioflocculant is preferred instead of synthetic flocculants. So several reports have been made about the impact of these chemical flocculants on conditions affecting human health. There is one question that comes to mind after learning about the sources and methods of these bioflocculants is how they might be used to purify water in industrial settings. There are also research about the chemical composition of bioflocculants as to know what things that lead to the flocculation. Recent research has produced encouraging results about using bioflocculant to cure plastic. There has been one bacterium, which is Bacillus ensilensis, a bioflocculant producing bacterium, that was found to be highly successful when exposed to the microplastics, as they use microplastic as a carbon source, as it produces flocculants with a 93% flocculating activity. Research question. For the research question, I have 4 questions that I have prepared, which is firstly, what is the effect that will impact the producing of bioflocculant? Secondly, why bioflocculant is preferred in water treatment instead of flocculants using chemicals? Thirdly, how does the bioflocculant work in treatment of wastewater in industry? And lastly, can this bioflocculant derived from bacteria help in treatment of water that is polluted with plastic, and how it helps? Next is general objective. Firstly, to understand what will affect the producing of bioflocculant from bioflocculant producing bacteria. Next, to know why bioflocculant is preferable than flocculant using chemical. Thirdly, to determine how does the bioflocculant works in treatment of water in industry. And lastly, to discover and discuss if this bioflocculant can treat water that is polluted with plastic. Significance of study. This study can benefit the students by knowing what is the bioflocculant and the form does this bioflocculant take, either in solid form or liquid. By identifying this kind of bacteria species that not yet studied for their ability to create bioflocculant, this could be helpful to future researchers who are committed to enhancing the quantity and quality of wastewater treatment. Workers that work in industries that are connected to the treatment of water can work with confidence regarding safety and without worrying about the toxicity of bioflocculants, as it is environmentally friendly. So this is the reference for my FYP1. Alright, that's all from me. Thank you for listening.